everybody. Welcome into the Early Edge PGA Tour style. Powered as always by SportsLine. We do it every single week because we believe that golf deserves its own show. And we've got our own expert. He's the host of the First Cut podcast. Let's bring him in right now. You know him at Rick Run Good on social media. He is Rick G. Rick, this is one of the most unique events on tour, the Zurich Classic. 4 years ago, they changed it to a team format, and I think players really look forward to it.
I think so too. This is the only official team format that we get on the PGA Tour. Obviously, we have Ryder Cups, we have President's Cups where we see guys play together, but this is the one where everybody gets to partner up with someone they like, someone they think might help them win, or in some cases, random draw when we get down to the bottom of this pool. So it's a lot of fun because they really are going to have to vibe together. There's going to have to be a lot of both a physical side of it and a mental side of it. So it's pretty cool to see over 4 days.
And it does make handicapping a little bit more difficult for people to know how this comes across. The top 80 players as far as priority ranking in the tournament get to pick their partners, and then it just goes down and down. That's why you're going to see some like a Rahm and a Palmer. They're the defending champions from 2019, and then you're going to see guys that make no sense together whatsoever, but maybe they'll have a magical week because FedEx Cup rankings, points, they're all split in half. Kind of take people through quickly what they can expect this week at TPC Louisiana.
Sure. So there is, golf handicapping in general, incredibly difficult. Trying to do it in a team format, even more so because they're going to alternate rounds from 4 ball to 4 sums. And what that means is 4 ball, that's the first and third rounds, is that everybody plays their own ball. And coach, if you and I were partners and you made a birdie and I made a par, our team would take your birdie. That's how it works. That's our score for the hole. And then in the 4 sums, that is alternate shot. Coach, you'd hit our first shot, I would hit our second, you'd hit our third, and I'd hit the fourth until we have a score for that hole. So they really are going to rely on each other, especially in the second and fourth rounds. And those first and third rounds are going to be super low scores. We have seen teams threaten routinely to shoot 59 in this event. So it's going to be a lot of birdies out there.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I tell you what, I am ready for it. I really enjoy this particular kind of golf, and I know a lot of players too. So let's jump right in to your board for the week. And we tell people all the time, if they watch us here at the Early Edge of the First Cut, your meat and potatoes, where you're going to make your money is going to be head-to-head matchups and not props. We can't emphasize that enough. So give me 2 head-to-head matchups this week that you really like.
Yeah, so I'm going to start with Jon Rahm and Ryan Palmer over Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele. Rahm and Palmer, they are the team to beat. They're our defending champions. I didn't like the outright number, but I wanted to get exposure to them, so I went with a head-to-head matchup over Cantlay and Schauffele. And Palmer, he has made more money at this event than any other golfer since they have changed the format because he has not only won this event in 2019 with Jon Rahm, he also finished 4th here with Jordan Spieth in 2017, and now this is the best version we've ever seen of Ryan Palmer. This is just a really good spot for him. And Patrick Cantlay, we know, has struggled in his last couple of weeks. He'll try to rekindle some of that magic with Xander Schauffele, but I don't like that as much. I'll take the Rahm and Palmer side. And then I'm going to go with Brendan Steele and Keegan Bradley to beat Jason Kokrak and Pat Perez. This, to me, the Steele Keegan side of it, these are 2 great ball strikers. They know they're not historically great putters, but Steele recently has been better with the flat stick. He has gained strokes putting in his last 3 starts. I'm thinking if they can marry those 2 things together, they can make a lot of noise in this event and they can dispatch Kokrak and Perez.
Yeah, I like both of those plays. To your point, to back you up on the number you talked about, as of Tuesday morning, the day that we are taping this show, they were plus 750 going back to Rahm and Palmer, and we're getting minus 125 here in just a head-to-head. That's incredible value based off of their win number. Don't play them to win. Can't tell you that enough. There's no value at plus 750. Come on. All right, let's go to top 10s because there is some value here. Give me 2 top 10s, Rick, that you really like.
Yeah, Dylan Fratelli is going to partner up with Kevin Streelman here, and this could not be a better combination of what we call poppers. Guys that, yeah, they're going to miss the cut a lot. They're going to, finish 60th or whatever, but they pop up and finish inside the top 10 often. Dylan Fratelli did it at the November version of the Masters. He played well at the Players Championship. Kevin Streelman has made a career out of top 10s. Like, that's how he's kept his card for as long as a handful of times every year. He finishes top 5. He finishes runner-up. He puts himself on top of the leaderboard. So I like that volatility quality, and I like the plus 350 that I get on those two to finish inside the top 10. And then a little bit further, for 5-1 on my money, I like Matthew Neesmith and Chase Seifert. Seifert has now made 5 consecutive cuts on the PGA Tour. He had a T3 at the Honda Classic a couple of starts ago. And Matthew Neesmith is the 7th ranked approach player on the PGA Tour. And anytime you get a golfer this far down the board with one elite skill set, and that elite skill set is one of the most important skill sets that we have on a weekly basis, I think you got to take it. This is a pretty good pair of Neesmith and Seifert.
I can say this, and I think you're going to agree with me, Rick, that we're not going to look at strokes gained around the green this week as a vital statistic, because if you're high in that, that means you probably missed the cut. You can't be chipping, especially in the 4 balls. Am I right?
If you're making par, coach, you are way out of this thing. You got to be making birdies. You got to hit greens. You got to have as many looks at birdie as possible.
Well, let's talk about 2 teams that have the potential to be there come Sunday afternoon, raising that trophy and splitting those 800 FedEx Cup points. Who do you like?
I'm going to start with Max Homa and Taylor Gooch. They're 33-1 over at William Hill, and this is a team that crosses off all the boxes for me. Not only do they play well, Gooch is a very underrated iron player, and Homa won at Riviera. He played well after that. We know all of that. These guys are great friends, and that's part of this too. Homa actually attributed a lot of his Sunday round at his victory at Riviera to Gooch. They were able to walk together and chat and keep his mind off of the task at hand, which was him trying to win the biggest tournament in his career. That's his major championship. He's a hometown kid. So I really like this group, not only from a mental side, but from a physical side. They're 33-1. And then the one I can't keep my eyes off of, it's Terrell Hatton and Danny Willett. They're 25-1. And Hatton has proven over the last couple of months, he can put 2 of the best rounds of the week together, but he can't follow it up with the other 2. And I'm wondering if Danny Willett, who is a much more solid, steady golfer, can kind of keep the wheels on when Hatton makes his bogeys, because it's going to happen. But if Willett's there to make par and they can move on, give Hatton another crack at making a low number. I think this is a team that could work really well together. They just played together at the RBC Heritage. They're very comfortable with one another. This is a lot of upside from Terrell Hatton.
This is one of the groups that really kind of jumped off the page to me. So I loved when I saw it on your board for the week, because I watched a lot of Danny Willett last week, and he really has his game back together. So, and you know what kind of a fan I am of Hatton, so you don't have to sell me on this at all. All right, we are up against it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap for Rick G. Zurich Classic picks in his matchups. He liked Jon Rahm, Ryan Palmer. Can't believe it's only 114 over Cantlay and Xander Schauffele. And then Brendan Steele, Keegan Bradley, great iron players over Kokrak and Perez. That's also minus 114. And then a couple of props here. Top 10s, Dylan Fratelli and Kevin Streelman. Top 10 plus 350 for them. Matthew Neesmith, Chase Seifert, also top 10s plus 500. Then to win, remember, what do we say? Let's just sprinkle a little bit here. Max Homa, Taylor Gooch, plus 3,300. And Terrell Hatton and Danny Willett to win plus 2,500. Oh, it's one of my favorite times of the week. You've got your marching orders. Let's take every single ticket straight. Well, there's 2 winning tickets, so 5 of the 6 straight to the pay window. For Rick Run Good, Rick G, and the jeweler who puts it all together. I am the coach. We grind, and we grind for you. Good luck this week. This is the only place for your daily early edge.